What's up, y'all? Sparty here. I want to make a attempt to make a shorter video today. It's going to be a bit of a rant video, and it's talking about how people sit here and say that phones have gotten boring. And I want to get to this in a way that kind of cuts a little bit deeper because I feel like when you sit here and baby these people, they just never really get the point. So I'm gonna say this: if you think that phones have gotten boring, even though we live in an age where camera tech is getting to the point where they rival cameras, mirrorless cameras with a micro four thirds sensor, right? Or they give you all of these tools to actually be used in some sort of productive and power user way. The phones haven't gotten boring. You've gotten boring, or you've been boring with your phone usage. If you need a phone, if you need to spend $2,000 on a phone to have a parlor trick like folding out to do slightly better web browsing, no, you've gotten boring. If you need that same $2,000 phone to have S Pen support on a rinky-dink ass plastic display, no, regular phones didn't get boring. You've just gotten boring. And I'm gonna be completely real here. This is something that's been bothering me for a while because it comes from the same places. It comes from people that spend $1,500 on a phone and do the bare minimum of what that phone can actually do and say, oh, phones have gotten boring now. No, you just have gotten boring. And you probably would be better spent. It would probably be a better, allocation of funds if you got like a $400 phone. But no. You have to be in with the crowd, right? So you have to get a 14 Pro Max. You have to get an S23 Ultra, even though you do with your phone a quarter of what I do with my phone, right? You can't sit here and say that phones aren't different when these same people that say this shit didn't try and give manufacturers like LG a chance at all, unless they wanted to get a phone off Swappa and get it used. Finally see, oh, LG's actually good, but then they get sad when they're out the market. When your first phone is a V60 and you didn't actually buy it from a carrier or buy it from LG itself, yes, they're not making money off that phone, so you're aiding in the death of these companies. Just like the tech YouTubers that sit here and say that, certain companies aren't doing enough because they're not copying Samsung and Apple. If Samsung and Apple aren't doing a feature, it's not a relevant feature. And to me, that completely destroys competition. Just because a 1 Mark V doesn't process photos the same way that an iPhone 14 Pro Max processes photos does not make it an inferior product. It makes it a different product, and it's designed for people that want to utilize their camera in the way that phone allows you to. Like, I'm genuinely trying to understand this logic of phones have gotten boring because they all do the same thing. But the only possible way you can see a phone becoming, less boring is if you pay $2,000 for it and have it fold out. To me, that's not. But then you do nothing else with it, right? In maybe if you decided to do far more with your phone than just the bare minimum, and I'm not just talking gaming, maybe if you utilized it as a camera, maybe video recorder, maybe if you utilized it in other ways other than scrolling through Facebook or scrolling through Twitter, scrolling through social media, scrolling through Reddit, though who knows how long that's going to last for. Like, this is getting to the point where people are trying to justify a $3,500 pair of snowboard goggles as a way to browse the fucking web. You guys are just boring ass bitches. And I'm really getting tired of this shit. Because every time something that I like ends up being a thing, it goes away because, oh, it's not Samsung or Apple that's doing it. When these reviewers say that a phone has a headphone jack, they don't go any deeper than that. When LG brought the Quad DAC into the fray, they didn't go any more deeper than just saying that, oh, all it does is add a fucking filter over your music, which is the most 20 IQ take I could ever hear. I forgot what my last point was, but honestly, I'm gonna just cap it here. And I'm gonna just say the same shit. If you think phones have gotten boring, it's not the case. You have. Because when manufacturers that weren't Samsung and Apple that actually brought features to phones that they didn't have, you guys wrote it off and said it was a gimmick. Like, oh, I don't know, the wide angle lens on the back of the LG V20. Or the fact that the V10 had two selfie cameras, one was wider than the fucking first one, and you said that was a gimmick until Samsung decided to have a wider angle selfie camera on the front of their phone that you can switch between two different focal lengths on, right? And now you're calling legitimate progress in, smartphone technology gimmicks. Like, you're calling a 1-inch type sensor a gimmick because the iPhone doesn't have it. When the iPhone can't even leverage a 1/1.3 inch sensor to any sort of measurable degree that makes you want to go from a fucking 12 or 13 Pro Max to the 14 Pro Max. So, by all means, keep saying these things, because you're going to have more of these companies drop like flies, and all you're going to have is Samsung and Apple. And that sucks. I don't want that. I don't want Sony to leave, and I'm glad the Xperia line is actually profitable for them now, because that means it's not going to go away. HTC basically got, delegated to the mid-range, and that sucks because I want a high-end HTC phone again. Motorola can't sell a Moto Edge to save their lives without slashing the price by fucking $600 for like half the year. It's like, I don't see, and the only way you guys seem to sit here and want to get a new phone anyway is if it has a good trade-in value. You don't want these phones because they actually do what you want them to do. You want them for the vanity. And that makes you, what I've been saying in this video, a boring ass bitch. This is Sparta. Thanks for watching. Thanks for support. Like the video if you like it. Hell, dislike it. I don't care. Share with people that are interested in this sort of content. Let me know in the comments below what you feel. Have a good one.